Hi, it's Macbeth with Doctor Who. How exciting! G'day, it's Adam here again with another quick instant move review for you. So tonight I'm talking about Macbeth. This one stars David Tennant and Cush Jumbo. Now, what is Macbeth all about? Well, the tragedy of Macbeth is a 5-act tragedy written by a bloke by the name of William Shakespeare, or was it? And it was first performed, they believe it was first performed in about 1606. And the play basically talks about a brave Scottish general by the name of Macbeth who receives a prophecy from a trio of witches that one day he shall become the King of Scotland. Consumed by ambition and spurred on to the violence by his wife, Lady Macbeth, he goes on a bit of a murderous spree to fulfill the prophecy and then protect himself from being pinned for all the crimes and the guilt and all. Now, this has been filmed many a time, and I suppose the most recent one was, again, another filming of a stage play with Ralph Fiennes earlier in 2024, directed by Simon Godwin for NT Live. That was quite interesting. This one is directed by Max Webster, and it was originally in the Dolmar warehouse, which is where this one was filmed. Now, the director this time around hasn't bothered to really do much with the witches. He's actually now calling them Wayward Sisters. They're not even featured. And Tennant's Macbeth is quite ambitious from the very beginning, and any honour or loyalty is basically thrown out the window very early on, especially to Duncan. He is just really a mask for his ambitions. And he does this very interestingly with the sides to the audience. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute. He doesn't have so much of an inner turmoil going on or inner conflict. It's all really just projected out there. So there's not a lot of honor in this as far as I'm concerned with Macbeth. He has pretty much just got a full-on lust for power that is 100% wielded on by Lady Macbeth, played by Cush Jumbo in this one, and she is absolutely fantastic. With this filming in a small warehouse, we have a small white stage which is illuminated from the base. And behind that stage, we have this kind of tinted glass, which is sort of backlit to then show Celtic players playing some of the live music. And the music is great, by the way, by these authentic Celtic players. It really adds to the atmosphere without there being any sets. There is no sets in this whatsoever. It is one stark square white space with this two-way mirror type of thing going on. And the interesting thing is, not only does it then, use light to show these Celtic players playing, it also shows scenes that are kind of happening, that are spoken of, that are happening in the background. It's such a really well done theatre technique. The thing that really sets this aside, however, from a lot of other Macbeths is, as I mentioned, no set. But the actors are wearing have these microphones, and the audiences in the theatre get to wear these noise cancelling headphones. So what that means is that the actors don't have to project. They basically just can whisper. They can whisper their inner thoughts or whisper the inner secrets that they're trying to tell to other characters. And it makes this wispy sound of the Wayward Sisters really eerie, because we don't need to see it. We're actually hearing it. We're imagining it in our own minds. So this is a real immersive experience, this production. And with it being filmed, the actors do deliver quite constantly to the cameras. So it's really quite interesting. And I think the thing with this is, in a small set, the need for microphones might not be as necessary for the headphones for the audience members. But in this, then went to the Pinter Theatre, I think it was, in the UK on the West End, where it's a much bigger space, and those headphones would become essential for, the requirement for the actors not to project. So in a lot of respects, this is probably closer to a filmic version of a stage play, even though it is minimalist, it is without sets, it is still needing to rely on the audience to put a certain amount of imagination into what's being seen. But the audio and the sound is what carries this through. Now, if you're watching this in the cinema, and it is available for limited screenings, depending on when you're watching this, but it will also be available at home, and I'll put some links in if I do have those available to me in the description. But the brilliant thing about this is the acting. And if you're watching this at home, pop your headphones on and watch it with those on, because I think you're going to gain a real experience on this. It's kind of like the actors whispering to you, and it's quite a sensory experience. It really is. David Tennant is 100% fantastic in this. Now, I did see the Ray Fiennes version of Macbeth last year, and David Tennant just wipes the floor with Ray Fiennes' performance. There's just something that's so it just gets into your bones with David Tennant. And I don't know if it was the audio or the way that his delivery came across, but he wasn't so much of a tormented soul, but a driven individual, which is so scary. It was quite frightening, actually, in some respects. Yes, some of the stage, the fight choreography is a little bit off, I thought. The dancing's kind of good. The whole thing feels like a big choreographed dance, the way the actors kind of move around each other, which is really interesting. There's some things that have been let go out of this production, so cut out of the text, which I don't think is a massive issue. I mean, I think this goes for less than 2 hours. The Ray Fiennes one goes for well over 2 hours. And I think that that's quite a benefit for those people that are maybe just being introduced to the text for the first time, and there might be a few of those people. And it really cuts to the bits that are important, that drive for ambition, that trying to cover your tracks, that being egged on by by like-minded individuals. Somehow that kind of rings a little bit true in some certain politics happening at the moment. But I'll leave that be. But look, overall, Cush Jumbo is amazing in this part. She was really great in The Good Wife. She's phenomenal here with Tennant. The two have an amazing chemistry. And as I said, David Tennant is absolutely phenomenal. So if you love Macbeth, or you haven't even seen Macbeth before, this is a really great way to be introduced to it. Because there's not a lot of noise. And I guess the one thing with all of Shakespeare is people finding that the language barrier of the old English can be a little bit tough to understand. But really, the way that it is delivered in this is probably the easiest way I think I've seen a Shakespeare text being presented on film since maybe Once a Duel About Nothing, the Kenneth Branagh film, which I love. So anyway, that's it. Macbeth, see it with David Tennant. As I said, I'll put some links below, but if you can catch it in theaters, I highly recommend you do. And I would give it a 7.5 out of 10, verging on an 8. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed this. So check it out. All right, that is it from me tonight. What is your favorite film adaptation of a Shakespearean work? Well, as I mentioned, for me, it's probably Much Ado About Nothing. I've got a really soft spot with that film. I just found it to be a joyous film that made me laugh and had some great stars in it. And it was probably one of my first introductions to Shakespeare, and I just loved it. Maybe you like the Macbeth, the Hamlet. Maybe you like the Mel Gibson Hamlet, or you like the Kenneth Branagh Hamlet, or maybe, I don't know, maybe there's something else out there that you like. But comment below, let me know. I'd love to find out, and I'll catch you all next time here in my car. Is that a dagger I see before me? It's a steering wheel.